How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Digital World Acquisition Corp that has been on a tear. While we see most of the stocks inside of the market pull back, DWAC is doing the opposite. So of course there is a movement behind this play, but if you guys have been on this channel or watching my videos long enough, when it was consolidating between the mid $50 area, between 50 and as well as 55, I was saying it is a great opportunity to load up. Look where we're at right now, being able to hit those highs of 100. I'll talk about it further in this video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Digital World Acquisition Corp. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $97.25, being up 2.21%. On the low, it tested $95, and then on the high, testing $100.22. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 4.543 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 6.418 million shares. So even though we did have below average volume on the day, we still saw some strength in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is at 69.16. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we have strength above the 100-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. So you can see here we are on a strong uptrend. We have been forming higher lows consistently. But one thing I want to bring to your attention, since we are trading far away from the 21-day EMA, and we do have instances where we come back to revisit it, I'll be looking for a pullback right here around $86.25 for a potential entry. But of course, make sure you're using your right risk management. To be buying at these levels, you are paying a premium. But as far as support, where it tested on the day at 95 and then seeing in the after hours, it is around 97.36. I would be very curious if we have weak market conditions, if it can pull back to $90 and actually hold it. If it doesn't do this and it uses $95 as support like it did on the day, then I could see us easily getting past this $122 and making a move all the way to $110. And if we're able to get to $110, the next level to look out for is $120. So let's see how the stock performs going into tomorrow. But one thing that is clear, there is demand in the market for this stock. Now let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Digital World Acquisition Corp. Scrolling down further on the page, the green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at recent filings, we have for February the 24th, Logan Stone Capital LLC that purchased 90,000 shares. And also for the 17th, which we have covered, which is Virtu Financial LLC that purchased 14,249 shares. As we scroll up on the page, what I want to show you very quickly is this graph for institutional ownership, and look at this. As of late, recently, institutions have been loading up, and this is one thing you want to keep an eye on, especially as we move on further in the month of March. Taking a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 56.30%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 2.75 million shares. Scrolling down further on the the page, the short shares availability is at 15,000, updated 11 minutes ago. And then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 151.33%. And that is very high, with the max on the day being at 168.01%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of March the 1st, it is at 45.95. And then for the close of the second being at 56.30. So what this tells us right away, DWAC does continue to have short squeeze potential. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for DWAC. So we see on the inflow it's at 102, and then on the outflow it's at 97.47. So we had an inflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large it was 2.73, on the medium it was 99.22, and then on the small it was 0. Keep in mind these numbers are in the millions. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large it was 3.93, on the medium it was 93.24, and then on the small it is 0.30. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you could see for today, March the 3rd, it being that outflow of negative 1.2 million, and we also did see an outflow on the 2nd of March being at 0.49 million. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tends to represent the retail side, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the large, which represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 12.22%. No surprises why it is up there. DWAC is a volatile stock. But one thing to keep in mind though, there are still many who are holding on to their positions, and it's part of the reasons why you've been seeing this stock on a steady uptrend. So now let's go into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for DWAC, when we take a look at the price action, on the low of the day it tested $95, and then on the high of the day testing right at $100. So the next level you want to keep an eye on is $110, and upon passing that would be $120, and then above $120 we are going straight to the moon. I'm just messing with you, but again, it's very possible for this stock to get to 120. Am I saying to wait to sell till then? No. What you need to do is come up with a strategy that is right for you. I've already told you guys, when it got to $125, I should say $138 inside of the pre-market, I was able to sell at $125, but I only did half of my position. So I'm still playing with the house's money. So I want to see where this stock goes, and I don't mind waiting to see if it makes that jump to 120. But depending on that price action, if it is looking weak, then of course I'm going to make sure that I at least be able to bank out at $110. But again, you got to come up with a strategy that is right for you, because when we have been talking about it, I was saying it was a good area to add some shares when it was trading between $50 and as well as $55. So yep, that is a double up. And for anyone who's thinking about getting into the play right now with the way how it's been looking, there is a possibility we can have a pullback to around $85 to $86. So those are some levels you want to keep an eye on, but this is not financial advice, just what I'm saying in my opinion if I was going to go into the play right now. Also, when we went on Fintel taking a look at the recent institutional ownership, we could see institutions have been showing some interest. They have been purchasing shares. And then when we took a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. DWAC still has a short borrow fee rate that is well over 100%. And I feel that is part of the reasons why this stock just continues to go up. But of course, this is a stock market at the end of the day, and no stock just continues to go up. It does have natural pullbacks. So knowing that, you want to be patient if you are going to be getting into it, and you want to know what your entry is going to be. Just don't buy out of FOMO. You want to know your entry and you want to know your exit. And as far as the risk management is concerned, make sure that you have a stop loss. We know this stock does have a pattern of pulling back to the 21-day EMA, and that's why I was saying you want to look out for $85 and as well as $86 and see if you can catch it when it's having a pullback or a red day. But again, you're doing this at your own risk. I want to make sure I'm being clear about that. And congratulations to those who are up in this play. And if you are up quite a bit, please think about where you want to start taking your profits, and don't just watch the stock on your screen. That is the wrong thing to do. Have a game plan. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.